WeLiveFantasy.com, Mike Chaffee, Tyler Lau, breaking down the Holy Grail, Masters, Augusta National, Masters 2020. So excited. I've been waiting all year for this. I was bummed when they canceled the Players earlier this year because I knew the Masters was the next big tournament to fall, and we finally get it. The colors are changing. Augusta looks beautiful. They're pumping out so much content and so much just videos and everything because no one can be there to enjoy it. It's really, really exciting. Been seeing a lot of crazy shit over the past 2 days that we're gonna run through real quick, along with notes, this DK slate and everything. It's the Masters, so we're gonna take our time, break it down, go through it, because all eyes are gonna be on the Masters this weekend, and it's just so damn exciting. I have a bunch of write-ups up on WeLiveFantasy.com breaking it down. I'm sharing with you guys all the kind of steps I take and homework research. And luckily, what's so cool about this event, it's held at the same golf course. If you're new to golf, this is for you. If you've been watching golf for a while, just tune out for 10 seconds. Masters is played at Augusta National every year. Year over year, same course. A couple revamps. Tiger broke the course a while back. I think Bryson's going to break the course again this week. But there's so much history with Augusta National. We have records and archives from the Masters database. We have records and archives everywhere, videos, testimony, everything you can think of about Augusta National. So you really don't have to look at anything else but Augusta National in the realm. And Tyler and I have been talking all week, and he's like, what would you compare it to? What would you compare it to? Well, gun to my head, if I had to compare it to something, it would be Memorial or something along those lines. But if you've ever been to Augusta or followed golf for a long time, you realize that there's nothing else. People have tried remaking this golf course all across the world. People have tried redoing it, making their own version in Arizona, making their own version in Ocala, Florida, and you just can't do it. And it's just one of a kind. It's a place where when I went for the first time, I just laid down in the grass for an hour and a half, face down, and just soaked it all in. I went with our buddy Zach. People were walking by us and saying, hey, is he all right? Is he all right? And I was just like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just soaking in the greatness, because where I was laying down was right next to the first tee, where Ben Hogan, Bobby Jones, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Larry Mize, Fred Couples have all walked up there and hit their first tee shots of Masters for almost 100 years. And it was just so great. I told Zach, I'm just going to lay here, make some grass angels in the grass, and just lay face down and just soak it all in, and just go get me a sandwich and an Arnold Palmer, and I'll be right here. And it was just amazing. You can't take any phones or any devices onto the grounds at Augusta, so unfortunately I don't have any personal pictures to share, but there's plenty of them out there on Golf Digest and a bunch of the Masters marketing team where you can really just see how great it is. And your fun fact, Tyler, of Augusta National that I couldn't even fathom this until you see it in person. We got our tickets from members when we were working up at Harbor Hills, and he was just like, you won't believe the elevation change there. And he's just like, it's crazy. He's just like, you're going to walk 18 holes there and you're going to feel like you ran a marathon. We were sitting on the 8th hole, par 5, straight up the hill. And we were sitting there talking to a volunteer worker, and he's like, I was just being myself. I was just like, I can't believe how uphill this is. Like, you have no idea until you see it in person. He told me from the highest point of Augusta to the lowest point of Augusta in elevation change is taller than Niagara Falls.
Yeah, that's wild.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's God's gift to us is having this golf course. And I'm just so excited, man. Couple of narratives I touched on. Rory McIlroy going for the career Grand Slam. All he needs is a green jacket, and he will have won every major championship. You got Tiger going for back-to-back Masters championships after last year's dramatic finish, which had me crying like an 8-year-old girl. You got You got a couple really notable names making their first Augusta appearance, like Matthew Wolf, Terrell Hatton, and a couple other guys that we'll get to making their first Masters appearance. Names like that, man, coming here for the first time that are just so good. It'd be interesting to see what they do this week. Um, and you have Justin Rose, who is right now the active leader for most consecutive cuts made at the Masters with 14 years in a row. 14 years in a row, homeboy has made the cut at Augusta. Um,
That's
there,
7,700.
there's people who don't make one cut at Augusta. And this year, being even closer and tighter, the Masters committee decided to trim the cut line. It used to be if you were within 10 strokes of the lead, you would make the cut at the Masters. Well, this year it's top 50 and ties for 50th. So we're really going to have to trim the fat on some lineups this year. Not make too many out of bounds choices that you normally would, like you did last week at the Houston. But the good news is, everyone over $9,000, I can legitimately make a case for why they can win a green jacket. So the good news is you can cycle through all the guys you like up top or the guys that we like, and then find value down below, because in major tournaments, really good golfers get really good price tags for whatever reason. And this week, there's severe value across the board. Tyler, when you fired up DraftKings this week to look at the Masters, did anything catch your eye right off the bat?
Yeah, Desham wasn't $12,500.
It should
Yeah,
be.
I am happy with a lot of the pricing. I do like the way they've staggered it out. And what you said about over the 9K and making an argument for everyone to be able to win the tournament is absolutely true.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're excited about a few in particular, and we'll get there. But yeah, I'm excited. I like the lower plays too. There's definitely some value down low that we found on the sheets, and we'll get there for sure.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest question is, how much Desham do you play?
Man, I tell you, he is, and I wrote about this on WeLiveFantasy.com. He is blowing up social media this week, and everything that has to do with Masters, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. He is taking it over all up until about an hour ago when John Rahm just made his second hole-in-one of the week, skimming it over the water. Unbelievable shit going on. Bryson DeChambeau is going to do what Tiger Woods did in 97 to this golf course, and he's going to break it. And it's going to be very strange. There's normal guys who have played this golf course 50,000 times. Well, not 50,000 because it's actually really hard to get out there, but I've played the course 50 times that are tweeting, that are sharing reports. I just got another report that Bryson's on the range right now, and he's consistently hitting 205-mile-an-hour ball speeds on the range. They're going straight, and he's staying balanced. That's serious shit. What that equates to is 400-yard carries. And when you have the first hole that's 423 yards, and you're hitting pitches into it, and I promise you, the first hole looks very simple. If you play it on Tiger Woods or PGA Tour video game, it looks pretty damn simple. But when you're there in real life, I mean, it's like the most underrated starting holes ever. And when you can just hit a pitch into that green to get your Masters started, there's no starting on the 10th tee at the Masters. You start on one and you play the course as it's designed. And I'm telling you, like, here, let me pull it up so I can exactly read it. But 205-mile-an-hour ball speed on the range, consistently balanced and swinging. The next tweet that I saw about Big Daddy Bryson, where the hell did it go? I'm so sorry. Okay. Bryson DeChambeau hit 3 drives on 13. The last hole of Amen Corner, dogleg left, one of the most famous holes. You've seen Phil hit it out of the pine straw. You've seen Tiger stick 3 irons there from like 220. Bryson DeChambeau had 130 yards left to the front edge of the green on a par 5. Second drive had 148 yards to the front of the green. His third tee ball rattled through the trees on the left and may have been the closest to the green, but was in a bad position to where he probably wouldn't have been able to hit the green. He told Tiger he's trying to reduce his spin rate to try to have the ball just come out kind of dead, so it's less spin going left or right to just stay straight. Um, he has decided to stick with the 48-inch driver, which is adding that little bit extra whip and torque that he needs. And I'm telling you right now, if he's having those kind of numbers into par 5s, if he can keep it straight and putt as well as he does, being the third best putter on tour for the past 6 months right now, and have wedges and shorter irons into these greens. The thing about Augusta, when the pins, let's just say the pins in the front right, what these guys are trying to do is leave the ball in the best position to make a realistic putt. And most of the time you try to leave the ball under the hole so you have an uphill putt. Put the ball on the right side of the hole so it's more straight, less slope and undulation. So what he's doing is he's going to hit the drive as far as he can. It's similar to the US Open. You remember how tough those greens were. He's going to hit a drive into a spot and then try to leave a ball in a spot. And when you're trying to leave a ball in a spot with a 7 or 8 iron as opposed to a 6 or a 5 iron, it's a hell of a lot easier to put the ball somewhere in that quadrant. And then when you putt as good as Bryson does, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see. All signs point to all systems go for Bryson. And if he does what he did at the US Open, and keep in mind, Bryson's a total golf nerd, but in the best way possible. He's always tweaking, tinkering, ball. I mean, 5 years ago, he was drawing lines on balls and had this machine that found the center core of the ball, and he would line the ball up that way because he believes that the ball is made and there's a seam in the golf ball that is made to be hit a certain way, and everyone called him fucking crazy. A couple of years after that, he made his golf set where every iron in his bag is the same length. People called him fucking crazy. He then did the same thing with his hybrids, his 3-woods. People called him fucking crazy. And then he completely revamped over the COVID break, got jacked, got ripped, nothing but ball speed, swing speed, hitting it as hard as his body will allow while staying balanced and staying over the golf ball. And you saw it at the US Open. There was Matthew Wolff stumbled a little bit. He probably could have hung with him a little bit longer, but Matthew Wolff is very long too and hits the ball a hell of a long way. So he could kind of hang with him there. But when it came down to it, the overall everything about Bryson, he shifted from kind of being middle of the range through all these changes he made to number 1 off the tee, number 2 Draftkings, number 3 putting, number 9 tee to green, 3rd strokes gain total. Like, it all came full circle, and all the work and all the nerdiness and all the scientifical bullshit, it's coming to fruition right now. And I think all he's done since the US Open is laser focus and homework on Augusta.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to go out there and absolutely destroy him. You know,
And being such a nerd and being like that, he loves the history and everything that has to do with Augusta, which a lot of guys thrive on that. You see Finau, Bubba Watson, Tiger, Justin Rose, guys who love the history of the game and respect the culture of golf and respect the history side of things. They love coming to Augusta. There's no other place on earth like it. And I think he can qualify for that category as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Right
from what I'm
now,
seeing,
yeah.
what I'm seeing is he's got a shot to be 5 strokes ahead every day on everyone. So I don't know why you would take him.
Yeah, and if you want to see what it's going to be like, go watch the 97 Masters highlights. A good example, I was listening to Sirius XM earlier, and Ben Crenshaw was on his show, and he said, I played with Tiger in the 90, I forgot what Masters it was, but I think it was Tiger's first Masters. And he said, the number 5 hole, 460, really tough hole. He said he hits driver and had like 4-iron, 5-iron into that every day. When he first played with Tiger, Tiger hit 3-wood pitching wedge. And just
What do you think
broke.
Nishan's going to do?
It's gonna be eerily similar. Um, I think he's good enough to keep it all together, and I don't see Bryson missing a cut. I don't see Bryson fucking around out there. I think he's going to be there with a Brooks Koepka kind of mentality and kind of fuck the world. Here I am.
Right. I'm here to win. I'm going to
Yeah.
show you.
Yeah. And I made 2 core 4s this week, one with Bryson and then another one kind of a little bit more balanced that you can see on there too. But what I mean, I'm having a hard time not clicking Bryson DeChambeau after seeing all these reports coming in.
Yeah, I mean, there were all the reports, but also, I mean, like what he just did at the Open. I mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
yeah, like fuck that though. I mean, even if he didn't do that, I'd be like, holy shit, like
yeah,
holy shit, like. But knowing what he did at the last major, it's an easy click for me.
it is. It
It's an
is.
easy click.
Which
Uh,
means the next 2 guys are awfully tough to click because if you do it, then you're already
yeah,
diving.
yeah, you're in trouble. But here's the deal: is like we said, everyone above 9K can win this.
Yep.
Legitimately, I could put my car up on it and feel good about, okay, I'll take everyone above 9K. You take the whole field underneath it for the pink slip to my car, and I would sleep like a baby. Um, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Justin Thomas, though. Um, you, you can't count him out. Um, he is number 1 tee to green. He's 3rd strokes gained total. His worst stat is putting, and even that is 35th. All around stud. And if there's anyone who kind of sets up nicely for Augusta, it's definitely Justin Thomas, who can also hit it pretty damn far, and he can hit any kind of shot shape he needs. And he's really, really good with his wedges. I mean, really, really good. And I feel like with Justin Thomas, when it's on, it's 100 points in DraftKings, no matter
Yep.
where he really finishes.
Yep.
And if he's off, he's still top 20. You know, it's never like, oh my God, Justin Thomas played bad, he's gonna miss the cut. No.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
You know, like even when he's playing bad, he's still
But he doesn't. But he doesn't. He doesn't pay for his value a lot. If he doesn't
right.
get 100 points, he ain't paying for his value. I did come across some interesting facts, and one of them being that every time he's played here, he's improved his position. So that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, that's obviously trending in the right direction. So we like that.
Yeah. And when you think about a guy like Justin Thomas, um, it's he truthfully probably should be the most expensive guy on the slate. I just think that with the way that everything's been bet down and the way that everything has kind of trended these past couple months and him winning the major championship put DeChambeau up there. But I feel like it should be Justin Thomas, John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, your top 3. But we'll take it because that means we're getting Dustin Johnson and all these guys at cheaper pricing. Justin Thomas, to go on what Tyler said, T39, T22, T17, T12 last year. So it's steadily getting better. If the trends go in the way this should be, he should finish 7th this year. And then next year he'll finish 2nd. And then he'll finally win.
Second as well. So
Yeah.
that's definitely not out of the question.
Yeah, but the worst finish for Justin Thomas is T39th. That won't pay for itself. Next best is T22. That'll almost kind of get there because he's probably going to make some birdies and not many bogeys. If he finishes 17th or 12th, you got to feel pretty damn good about it,
Yep.
you know, to be right there. Next up is probably the second hottest trending golfer right now in the social media kind of network golf channel world. That's Jon Rahm. Jon Rahm has made 2 hole-in-ones in his 2 days of practice and playing. One of them being skipping over the water on 16. I was at Augusta in 2012 when Jordan Spieth holed out one of those shots, skipping it across the water into the hole, and you could hear it from the parking lot when he did it. It was so amazing. Um, really, really cool stuff. Here's the thing about Rahm. Another guy who's pretty much gotten better every time he's played here too. He has back-to-back top tens at Augusta. His worst finish was 27th. That when he finished fourth here, solo fourth in 2018, he had 2 bogey-free rounds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you think about that. He was harnessing his inner Seve Ballesteros, and you know I love fading Rahm. It's my favorite thing in life to do, besides a couple other things.
Me too.
As of right now, I have 0 Rahm. Could that be my edge? Could that be my leverage this week if he goes out there and just ho-hum 25th? But the problem is I don't see him doing that. He has been on fire. If you were to compare this golf course to something, I would say Memorial, where we all know what he did there. If you didn't have him in your lineup, you weren't winning anything.
That's right.
But at the same time, you got to get leverage somewhere. So if you're gonna plant that flag in someone, if you're gonna ride the chapstick train, that's what I'm gonna be doing. The only reason I'm doing that is because I believe that Dustin Johnson should be more expensive than Jon Rahm. I believe that Xander Schauffele should be more expensive than Jon Rahm. I think that Tyrrell Hatton, honestly, should probably be more expensive than Jon Rahm.
Or at least at the same price tag.
So for those reasons alone, I am gravitating to, I think Roy, no, it's close. It's close. But I think that there's guys that are undervalued below him that should be above him. In my mind, my gut, and my heart, you might disagree with me, that's fine. But this is what I'm saying. I think Dustin Johnson beats Jon Rahm. I think Xander Schauffele beats Jon Rahm. I think Rory McIlroy, going for the career Grand Slam, and after all his trials and tribulations here at this golf course, I think he beats Jon Rahm. So in my brain, when I'm clicking lineups, Jon Rahm can damn well go win this golf tournament. Okay? Write that down. But I just feel like there's value below him that I'm willing to go for, so I'm not paying down super low as I get to my lower picks, because I need 6 guys to make the cut this week.
Yes.
Because even when I click Bryson and Brooks, I can still feel really good about a lineup with that stack up top. When I click Dustin Johnson and Brooks, I can still feel really good about that lineup. When I go Xander Brooks or Xander, and someone else, I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling really good about it. But I would be, just like I've said in a video before, I'd be a fucking asshole if I was going to come on here and tell you better not play Jon Rahm or go fuck yourself. Like, I would not be, I would hope someone would fire me for that.
You're fired.
But yeah. All right.
Well, first of all, we can't get fired from anything, so that's the good news.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is that's how I feel, and then that's kind of where my brain's at. If anyone wants to go head to head, Rory versus Jon Rahm, y'all let me know down in the comments below, because I'll take that shit.
That's a challenge.
I'll take it. If anyone,
that is a challenge.
It's out there.
So here's my thing with Rahm real quick. I know you pretty much covered every base, but I do want to get this off my chest. That he seems to be one of the guys that every time I don't play him, he wins or he's in the winning lineup. And every time I play him, we see him throw his club and stand in front of the camera and kick his fucking bag and all this other crazy shit, which I love to see. I love to see it, by the way. So, with that being said, in Memorial, I lost money because I didn't play him. I know this isn't Memorial. I understand that, but he obviously has got the stats here. I'm going to probably be on him a little more heavily than you will be at 0. But at the same time, I do hope he goes out there and shits the bed.
Well, there's no throwing golf clubs and kicking bags. So at Augusta, you do that, they'll boot your ass real quick. They almost booted Sergio Garcia about 5 years ago for throwing a tantrum. Sergio smashed the club straight in the ground, and he got one warning. He got one
Well,
warning.
Rom's going to get a warning.
They said that's it. You
I
do
bet
that.
you
You
Rom
do
gets
that
a
again
warning.
because this is not a PGA Tour event. This is Masters. Masters
Yeah,
runs
no,
all the shit.
I
So
understand.
so if he can't express himself, it's gonna be stuck in his head, and he's gonna fucking implode, and it's gonna be great.
All right. I'm there. I'm
No,
there. That's fine. I'm
but
going to have some Roms.
all right, all right, and you should, you really should. Rom Schauffele looks really good, and you can make that
McIlroy.
work. Rom
What do we think about
Schauffele looks
McIlroy?
really, really good. All right, so Rory, if you followed golf and you know the Rory timeline, he had a 3-shot lead on going into the back nine. I think it was 2011. Duck hooked it on 10, couldn't find the ball. It was all downhill from there. Well, I walked over there. I did on 10. I went to hole 10 when we were walking the golf course, and I went left because I wanted to see where Rory hit that shot, because they said the ball wound up in between the cabins on the 10th hole over there on the left. I promise you, that is such a bad shot. Like, I don't think someone could do that if they tried. That's how far left he missed it. And then I walked all the way over to the right where Bubba hit that winning shot in playoff to win his Masters. And seeing where those two balls were and seeing how those guys went about their day gave me a whole new perspective on life about Augusta. It's a little bit of a narrative with Rory trying to complete the career Grand Slam and kind of coming back to Augusta and doing it. I know he wants to win it so bad. I know he's got the game to do it because he's a very versatile player. And once again, he's got the length to do it too. And if it's going to be rainy, if it's going to be a little soft, we're going to want guys who can hit the goddamn golf ball far. I think Rory is just a complete elite kind of player than anyone else here above $10,000. Him and Dustin Johnson, out of the 10K range, by far the biggest value, 10K and above. I mean, to have Dustin Johnson not anywhere in the top 3 prices, you should consider that a steal.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I agree.
if you go back and archive DraftKings pricing, tell me where you've seen DJ at 10K in like 6 months. Maybe after he withdrew and shot like that 80.
Yeah, that was about it.
But even
that
then,
was at Memorial,
he had to be right there in that.
Yeah,
price
that was
range.
Memorial.
So now you get Dustin Johnson, who's number 1 in strokes gained total, number 2 in tee to green, number 1 ball striker, 12th short game, 7th off the tee, 1st on approach, 14th putting, and your number 1 DraftKings points getter for the past 6 months. He's number 1 for $10,000.
And he made $18 million in the month a couple months ago, so he's just fine.
So to put that into perspective, Bryson DeChambeau's number 2 DraftKings points. He is the highest priced player on the slate. Justin Thomas, 4th DraftKings points, 10,700. John Rahm, 5th for DraftKings points the past 6 months. Rory McIlroy, 9th. Who's number 1 DraftKings points? Dustin Johnson, 5th most expensive player on the slate.
Value.
If this was any other golf tournament besides the Masters, you'd have to be crazy not to just auto-click DJ into everything. I mean, it's just absolutely bananas. DraftKings base pricing a lot on betting odds and take a lot of factors into account. They missed something on Dustin Johnson's pricing this week, and I love it. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, the only thing I consider with Dustin Johnson, and you're absolutely right with everything you said. My only concern with Dustin Johnson is if, again, I know this doesn't compare directly to the Memorial, but
Yeah.
that's where he shot that 80 and withdrew. Actually, shot 80 both days and then withdrew. And then at the U.S. Open, he really just did not do a whole lot. I know he finished T6,
Yeah,
but
and that was shocking.
yeah.
That
So
that was
is
shocking.
this him struggling at bigger events or harder events, or is this just two flukes in a row and we're hoping he gets back on the saddle?
Fluky flukes. 2015 he finished sixth. 2015 he finished fourth. 2017 he slipped on a set of stairs at his rental house that he was renting at Augusta and had to withdraw. 2018 10th. Last year tied second. So he definitely knows Augusta and he can get around here just as good as anyone. And he is probably playing his best golf he's played because he's figured out how to make putts. And if that dude can make putts around Augusta, I mean,
Yeah,
$10,000. Save
look
save
out.
save $1,000. Go Dustin Johnson. So
Or go DJ Schauffele.
yeah, I mean, and those lineups are really good. DJ Brooks, oh, Jesus Christmas, so pretty, so pretty. Schauffele, if he was a player on Madden, he would be 95s across the board.
Yeah,
I mean,
or Nine Gates.
find a weakness in his game, and I mean, you can't. His worst stat is 26th.
Yeah, he's amazing. He is, and
Unreal.
actually, he has six top six finishes and 13 career starts here, and he tied second last year.
So you ready for this? He is tied with Bryson DeChambeau at ranked number 2 for Draftkings points the past 6 months with a 9K price tag. This is what I'm saying, where I think they missed something on pricing here, because and that's another reason why I don't like John Rahm. Look at Dustin Johnson and Schauffele here. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Schauffele finished second last year, tied with Dustin Johnson.
Yep.
Both those dudes are playing better golf than I've ever seen them play. Which leads me to your 2020 Masters winner,
Oh God.
Brooks
Jesus.
Koepka.
Here we go.
I have been waiting and waiting and waiting and losing and losing and losing. All my lineups look like complete shit last week. And I checked my lineup on Saturday, like midday, and saw a smooth 65 out of Brooksy. And I was just like, all right, I'm almost making my money back here. Check back in on Sunday after I got done playing golf, saw him solo lead in the clubhouse with another smooth 65 going into Augusta, where he just loves dominating majors. If you caught Brooks prior to the Shell Houston Open, he was 45 to 1 odds to win the Masters. Right before I logged in and sent Tyler the Zoom call, he was down to 22 to 1 odds. Because they know. They know. I mean, the when I watched my DVR recording of Brooks's round, the thing I loved to see the most was that he was getting through the golf ball. Knees didn't look like he was kind of holding back on a leg. And the balls, they weren't going left. They weren't going right. They were dead fucking straight. And when Brooks is hitting it dead fucking straight, he went on the fucking tear last time. Now, I do have fandom, and I do have a man crush on him.
That's
So,
putting it lightly.
so
That is
my
putting it
love for
very
him
lightly.
and what he can do is comparable to my love for Tigger. So no matter what, I'd be playing him. Even if he shot 106 last week, I'd still be playing him this week. But you gotta feel good about having a 3-time major champion and an already established Masters champion, and a guy who can literally go out there and dominate an event at $9,700.
Yeah, I agree. And
And
this is going to be one of the small.
coming off of a 70, 70, 65, 65 the weekend before. That's all I could ask for in a golfer. And Dustin Johnson, Schauffele, and Koepka, I love that little threesome right there. I'm trying to get as much of that as I can, and without having to pay up. And even when I do, I did a couple Brooks Bryson, because I'd love to see that narrative of those guys who were talking shit to each other a few months ago coming down the stretch of Sunday at Augusta. You'd love to see that. I sure would. I'd probably be sitting on my couch fucking drooling. Um, and
Yeah,
I did a Bryson Dustin, did Bryson Xander, Bryson Brooks, just in case Bryson decides to go out there and just pace this motherfucker. I gotta have my Brooksy in there. I gotta have my Schauffele, and you can really make that work. And I really like it. Brooks is top 15 in strokes gained total, top 15 in Draftkings points. The best stat I love, because I was really honing in on iron play and putting this week. Brooks, 30th putting, 20th on approach for the past 6 months, and we know how bad he's played for the past 6 months. It's not been pretty, and it's not been good, and I've been riding it. Those stats last week before the Shell Houston Open were in the 40s and the 50s, and after last week, he crept into respectable numbers, and he's green across the board, which I really, really like. And to get someone with the talent that Brooks has at under $10,000, I think is awesome in a major championship.
by the way, you can stack DJ, Schauffele, and Koepka and get a sexy little lineup. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you can. And, and then you're diving down, but you can get your Molinaris. You can get your JT Poston, the Postman.
The
Postman. I mean, I'm really trying to steer away from golfers who have not played the Masters before, because there's only been 3 guys who's ever won the Masters in their first year, and the most recent is from the 60s. So
chances are that ain't happening.
Write that down.
That's right.
So, most guys win the Masters in their second and third year, unless you're just an absolute fucking beast like some of these guys are. Tiger Woods. Interesting name at 9,600. I wrote in the article that he's probably going to be the guy most slept on for the Masters. And when you look at Patrick Cantlay and see what this dude has a top 10 here at the Masters, and he's been cut. Okay, so it's 50-50. He's like Johnny Sauter. But here's the thing about Patrick Cantlay. He won at the Zozo, a really tough golf course, a really good irons and putting golf course. He plays, I feel like with Patrick, the harder the golf course, the better he plays, because he's not going to go out and shoot a 60 on you, but he's also not going to go out there and go bogey on you either.
Right.
Even par, most of the time, is an all right score at Augusta. You'd like to see 1 or 2 under every day to kind of keep you in the hunt. But he's the type of guy that's going to ham and egg it there. And if he gets on any sort of a tear at all, I really think he's going to be one of the lowest owned guys over $9,000 that could legitimately go out there and get you a really, really solid finish. And the thing I like most about Patrick Cantlay is that he is 9th strokes gained total. The only thing that I don't like about Patrick Cantlay, he doesn't get you the DraftKings points unless he finishes in the top 5 to get those bonus points for the places that he finishes. That's the only thing that scares me, because when I think about this list, I can probably name 5 guys that'll finish above him. So
yeah,
He's got to go out there and play Zozo like golf and play the golf course for him to win and to justify the price, because Dustin Johnson's going to beat him, right? You know, I mean, I think Tyrrell Hatton can beat him. I think Morikawa can beat him. And I think Webb Simpson and Patrick Reed can beat him. So in order for him to justify what we just said, he's got to finish top 5.
Yeah, and last year he gave it up on Sunday. So
maybe a little redemption narrative for Patrick Cantlay. I like Cantlay, though. If you want low-owned kind of pivot play, I mean, look who he's between. He's between Xander and Brooks and Morikawa and Hatton. He's going to go overlooked.
Absolutely.
He's going to go overlooked.
Yeah, because he's not flat.
Right. And, you know, I think people who like Joey Logano also like Patrick Cantlay.
Oh, man. Why, are they the same? They're one and the same?
I've never seen them in the same place at once. So. All right. Morikawa. We said irons, approach, tee to green. Most important here. Well, let's look at Colin Morikawa. Tee to green 7th, ball striking 8th. He's 4th on approach, but the putter's kind of lacking, and that's kind of been his Achilles heel.
Always.
But everyone and their mother knows Augusta, you got to have an iron. You got to be able to hit the irons. I'm not worried about him hitting fairways. He's proved that at the U.S. Open and the PGA Championship that he can hit fairways and he can play fucking tee to green golf. If he can somehow figure it out how to putt, he's one of the few guys I am not worried about not playing here before. Because guess what? He never played at a goddamn U.S. Open before either. He's never played at a PGA Championship before. Guess what? He went out there and he balled out. Like, he's been doing this for 20 fucking years.
Yep.
I mean, just balls of steel. The game, the mental game for him is very sharp and crisp. Another guy that I see has crazy value, to be honest with you. It's just silly. With Morikawa, the worst stat is putting, and he's 54th.
Which still isn't bad.
Right. In a normal situation, that's making the cut on every stat possible. I'm gonna have some stabs on Morikawa. He's not my favorite play this week, just because I still have in the back of my mind that he's never played here before. But I keep trying to tell myself he hasn't done a lot of things before, and he's going out there and he's a major champion now. He's in a different level just based off that win alone. And how
I was gonna say everything else could be the same said for Hatton right below him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. And Hatton has no good records here. He hasn't finished above 46th here. But I've never seen him play golf like he's played this year either. I mean, just starting at the Heritage, where we won a ton of money on him, all the way up until last week. I mean, the guy is just playing so good. His wedge game, the short game, the putter. And you talk about, like, when you watch guys on Shot Tracker, his Shot Tracker is dead fucking straight every time. I mean, it's like unbelievable. People underestimate how hard it is to hit a golf ball straight, because there very rarely is a straight shot that you hit. It's always somewhat curved one way or another. That dude hits straight golf shots, and I love it.
Yeah, and he's been playing really well. Again, I don't know how you don't throw a couple darts there, and at the price too. You know, like you said, these guys right here could easily win this thing, and they're priced at $9,400, $9,500. So
yeah, and Hatton's 10th in DraftKings points, 13th in putting, 13th on approach, and 12th strokes gained total. Those are the stats I'm looking at this week. Webb Simpson, hello. They should have put a big red siren next to this dude's pricing. 8th DraftKings points, 10th putting, 8th around the greens, 24th on approach, 4th short game, 20th ball striking, 13th tee to green, and 6th strokes gained total, all for the value of $9,300. Now, when you look at Webb Simpson, tied for 28th, tied for 29th, cut. Tied for 20th. Last year he finished 5th for $9,300. So you have to be out of your mind not to be playing Webb Simpson, who's a guy who can go get you 100 points for $9,300. Him and
Easily,
Hatton
easily get you.
have gotten 100 points like 4 times this year. Like it's just crazy to me. Like those guys should be above Morikawa and Cantlay.
Right, and they're priced down here.
We
take it.
And they're not. We take it. Patrick Reed, a Masters champion. A guy who can make any putt, get it up and down from everywhere, and just a straight grinder. Finished 36 last year, maybe a little bit of a Masters hangover, had a little fun with the like they have the Masters Champions dinner where the champion from the year before selects the dinner for all the other Master champions to come and eat. It's like this big celebration. Maybe a little bit of that went to his head last year. The guy grew up in Georgia. He went to Augusta State, played this golf course a shit ton, probably has more rounds than anyone at his age group at this golf course, kind of a home field for him. And the fact that he's won here before and dealt with that pressure and has done this before, at $9,200, you have to be out of your mind not to play Patrick Reed this week. Like, you have to be out of your mind.
The only concern with him, though, is he does have a couple missed cuts. So
yeah. 11th in DraftKings points, 45th on approach, 9th short game, 9th strokes gained total, 22nd tee to green. I'm definitely going to be having some shares of some fat trick Reed.
I got me some Reeds. I don't know how you don't.
I don't know how you don't either.
I did. I think actually he was in my winning lineup along with Hatton at the Heritage, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I like me some Reeds.
Yeah. All right, these next two guys, both also Masters champions. You have 3 Masters champions, 92, 91, 9,000. If you're unaware of who Tiger Woods is, I don't know why you're watching this video.
We can't help you. Yeah, we can't help you.
If you're gonna play Tiger and go push the chips in at any golf tournament, Augusta's the one to do it because it's not going to be an overbearing distance battle with him. This course is not going to play like a U.S. Open course or a PGA Championship course. It might play like a couple European British Open styles, but that's a completely different realm of golf. And what I mean by that, this course isn't growing. This course isn't changing. This course hasn't changed venues in close to a jillion years. Okay, it never has, never will. It's never going to be anywhere else. It's a course that is still within reach of Tiger's game. It's still within reach of guys like Bernhard Langer, Freddie Couples, Vijay Singh, Phil Mickelson. All these guys that are now older that we grew up watching can still hang at this golf course because they made the course bigger, but they didn't make it out of control and out of reach for guys. And this is a course where it's really, Tiger doesn't have to overexert himself to get the ball down the fairway where he needs it to be to have a competitive second shot. He can hit a normal driver. He can hit normal irons off of par threes. He's done it 50,000 fucking times. And he's won here so many times. If there's a course or a major that you should feel comfortable with clicking his name, it'd be this one. And if you want any reviews or testimony on that decision, go into YouTube and Google 2019 Masters. It was the Tiger Woods show. Brooks Koepka didn't have anything for him. Jason Day didn't have anything for him. None of these guys had anything for Tiger last year, and it was really special to watch. Um, it's a golf course that he can still manage and compete with guys who can hit it longer than him, maybe have been better than him lately. So you should feel comfortable at Tiger. The price is a little high for Tiger, but it's high because they know the heritage here. And they know, I mean, if he was 8,300, he should be in everyone's lineups, right?
Yes.
So they put him at this price. So you got to work for it.
Right.
And if you're going to do
How
it.
How bad do you want it?
Right.
How bad do you want it?
And I mean, he's Tiger
I know
Woods.
you've got Kepco wood stacks all over the place. I already know.
Bet your fucking balls I do.
I know you are.
And I think I have a DJ Brooks Tiger, and then I have a DJ Schauffele Tiger, and then I have a Schauffele Brooks Tiger. But listen, Tiger can do it here. He all time at Augusta. Hang on, I gotta find this because it's just so pure, and they're numbers that you wouldn't even fucking believe. Hang on. Tiger Woods, all-time record at Augusta: 22 events played, 21 cuts made. He's only missed one cut ever at Augusta, and that was the back and knee issue year. 5 wins, so he's won 25% of the time that he's played here. Out of those 22 events, he has 14 top 5s. Out of those 22 events, he has 16 top 10s. His scoring average over 22 years, 70.4. That's 1.6 under par average. His overall score to par, minus 101. He's 101 under at Augusta all time. That's serious shit.
Yeah,
that's serious shit. To think about. So you can't say that about the PGA Championship. You can't say that about the US Open. You can't say that about the British Open because all of those tournaments rotate and they all change courses every year. This is the tournament to invest in Tiger Woods. I'll leave it at that.
I might have like 4 woods.
I would highly suggest you do it. Bubba Watson, the last guy above 9,000. Again, steep price for Bubba Watson. Okay, I get it. I get it. He's actually been playing really good golf.
He has been playing really good golf.
He's been playing really good golf.
Yeah.
He is a nerd for Augusta. He was cut here in 2017, but he's also won here before. He enjoys the festivities, enjoys the history, enjoys everything about it. What was that damn number I told you? Hang on, let me pull up the write-up. Oh, last 363 rounds of golf, he only has 10 3-putts.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
So the putter for him is always been the key because he can hit it a mile and he can hit it on the green and he 2-putts everywhere.
He's got the
yeah. It's really tough to do, but you got to understand one thing. For Bubba Watson's kind of game, where he shapes it, hits it low, hits it high, hits it left, hits it right, does everything. Very versatile, which is what you need at Augusta. He's 5th tee to green for the past 6 months. He's 2nd in ball striking for the past 6 months. He's 5th off the tee. He's 8th on approach, and he's top 20 Draftkings points. What we know about Bubba is the putter. What we know about Bubba is the short game. He knows these greens. He knows the course. I think if there's any week where he's going to straighten up these putter and short game, it would be this week. I would have no problem paying for Bubba. The problem is with Bubba is kind of the Patrick Cantlay effect. He's got Tiger Woods, Patrick Reed, Adam Scott, Finau. He's kind of right in the middle there. And truthfully, if he's one of the few guys that I think is overpriced along with Tiger Woods as well. But I'm willing to eat that on a few lineups because I know I've witnessed what they've done at Augusta National before.
Yeah, and that was going back to what I was talking about in 2012. I mean, he he was able to drive the ball far enough to get to the spots where nobody else could. That really made it easy on his second shot for him,
Right.
and that's why he won.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Adam Scott, your first player in the 8,000 range. I'm more than okay with any of you playing Adam Scott. He's another one of those guys like Schauffele. It's hard to find a weak spot of his game. And he's played this course. God, how many rounds does he have here? Hang on. Augusta National. Sorry, guys. Yeah, he's got 50 rounds here. He's been playing golf forever. It's another reason why I like Poulter. Poulter has played so much golf at this golf course. He's got 50 rounds here too all time. I mean, those guys have played this golf course a million times. They know what it takes to get done. And when you're at the level of a guy like Adam Scott, his worst finish is 42nd in the past 4 years, all day. That's making the cut this year with 50.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a cut maker, and you know what? He does sneak his way into winning lineups all the time. You got
He
to have
really
fun.
does. And when it's good, man, it's good. It's good. It's really good. So I'm on board with the Scott train. He probably should be in the 9K range. They probably should have flip flopped him and Bubba Watson, but I'm okay with it. I'm all
Yeah,
right
it
with
ain't trouble.
it. Tony Finau made the gut and the heart picks this week in the write up. If you watched the Masters last year, he drained that hole in one in the hole 3 in the par 3 contest, running down the fairway, tripped, broke his ankle, came back to finish top 10. Loves the culture and the festivities around Augusta National, and he's underpriced. 7th strokes gained total, 10th tee to green, 6th in DraftKings points, and 12th on approach. Giddy up, Tony Finau. I got a good feeling about Tony Finau, and he's putting pretty well too, which is really, really exciting.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
plus.
I see it as a little bit of value there for Tony Finau. Now, the thing to remember with Finau, he's won some golf tournaments in his life, but never had that big moment. It affects some people. Some people crumble under it. So, but he's never finished outside the top 10 at Augusta. So let's roll with that. Let's keep it positive vibes only. And roll it. Supreme value with Finau. Okay. You talk about a horse for the course. Guys only played here twice, but when you finish in the top 10 twice, it's hard to argue against that.
Right. Obviously, he knows something.
Right, and he loves
He
it.
figured it
It's
out.
like the
Yeah.
Daytona 500 for these guys. They just love it. They thrive on it. There's so much history here. You know, some guys really eat that up and they really like it. Hideki Matsuyama, I was on the fence until I sent you his results here all time. And surprisingly, the past 5 years, 5th, 7th, 11th, 19th, and 32nd. The 32nd last year was arguably one of his worst putting years ever. So he seems to be playing pretty good lately. I haven't gotten there too much on him, but I do like him this week.
Yeah, I actually went there after I asked you that, and you sent me that information. I was
Yeah.
like, well, it seems like I got to take him then, especially in the balance.
He really fits balance builds really well.
Yep.
If you're going to go for 6 for 6. He's 7th on approach, and he's 4th tee to green. go for it. Tommy Fleetwood is I haven't gotten there with Tommy Fleetwood.
I won't go.
The numbers don't like Tommy Fleetwood and everything that I've tried punching him in on. The one silver lining for Tommy the past 6 months has been his short game, which you will need at Augusta, but it just hasn't been there for me, man. He has a 17th in 2018. Other than that, it's been 36th and a cut. I haven't been there. I'm just so scared when I don't play Tommy Fleetwood that he's going to be there.
I think there's plenty of other people in the field that could easily beat him, especially lower than him.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with not taking him.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, as long as, Day doesn't break his back or Spieth forget how to fucking do or anything like that, we should be good. And if Fowler can just learn how to fucking putt, he would probably be a decent play too. But
yeah, well, and horse for the course. We'll get to him. Matthew Wolff.
Anyway, Matthew Wolff. We could go ahead and just get off Fleetwood. That's fine.
Yeah, we're done with Fleetwood. Do what you want with Fleetwood. Put Rahm and Fleetwood in a lineup and pray to you gods.
And if you win, let us know.
Yeah,
because we do want to know.
I'll give you my fucking car. Matthew Wolff. God damn it, Matthew Wolff. Why couldn't you have played in the Masters before? Listen, this guy's playing some of the best golf of his life this past year. He's been playing really, really good. Came close to the most recent major. Let it slip away. You have to be ready for Matthew Wolff to go really low, and you have to be ready for Matthew Wolff to not play well in his first Masters. It's just history.
Yeah, like 280s.
It's just trends. It's just history. They've played this golf course a million times, and only 3 guys have won the Masters their first year. Okay? It just is what it is. It's one of the toughest fields in golf. So you have to be ready for it. It's a pretty good price for him, though. And he fits balance builds. For the hell of it, I put him and Morikawa in a lineup just as like a young gun lineup. Just to kind of compare and track that lineup to see how it does with guys making their first start. The silver lining for Matthew Wolff is the past 6 months, he's top 10 ball striker, top 10 strokes gained total, and top 10 Draftkings points. And he's number 3 on approach. All the things that I've kind of been looking for players this week. So he fits the mold. Can he live up to the – I mean, this is why I wish there was boots on the ground in Augusta, because I'd like to see what he's feeling. I'd like to see, like, what his vibes are. And I might have to watch press conferences tomorrow, but is he blowing smoke and mirrors? Is he just saying he's playing well? Like, or is he, like, really out there, like, playing well, I wish I would have known. I wish I could see it. But I personally can't right now. He's a guy you don't want to miss out on, though.
Yeah, I'm just afraid of the 80 possibility because he's done it a couple times this year.
Yeah, and he's never played here before, which I'm really trying to steer away from guys that have never played at Masters before. And I'm trying to help you guys get that in your brain.
Right.
Jason Day. My God, Jason Day. Jason Day has never finished worse than 28th here.
I've got some days.
He made a couple of those snapshots that I sent, put on the website, because he has the lowest round 3 score ever in Masters history. Shot a fucking 66 in the 3rd round. And man, he's got a lot of rounds here too. Let me see how many rounds he's played. He's got 36 rounds here. And the biggest silver lining for Jason Day is that his back finally looks good. He looks like he's swinging. He looks like he's balanced. It doesn't look like he's holding anything back or kind of gimping anything. And he's been there, done that. You know, I'm not worried about a seasoned veteran like Jason Day crumbling like I would be with Matthew Wolff coming down the stretch on Sunday at Augusta. Um, I would be far less worried if I had Jason Day and Jordan Spieth in my lineups on Sunday afternoon at the Masters than I would Matthew Wolff and Colin Morikawa. Well, maybe not Colin Morikawa because he's won it before, or Tommy Fleetwood. You know, like
Right.
I would just feel so much better about Justin Rose and Jason Day and guys like that because I know they've been there, done that at Augusta. And it's a little different this year. There's no fans there. There's no big roars. There's no big galleries and stuff like that. So, you know, maybe I'm overlooking that a little bit, but I don't think so. I like Jason Day a lot. Start your balance builds with Jason Day, Jordan Spieth, got Louis Oosthuizen, and you can really get them really sexy, 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 sexy. And if one of those guys wins, you're fucking going off. Um,
Yeah.
Sadly, Sergio Garcia tested positive for COVID, so he is no longer with us, along with Joaquin Niemann, which is a damn shame because Joaquin Niemann's back. I don't know how many Masters he's going to have.
Well, they
Uh,
ain't dead. They're still with us. They're just not playing this weekend.
I know, but this is a year where Joaquin Niemann's been playing really good golf, and I think 5 years from now, when we're making videos, I'm going to be like, yeah, fucking told you about his
Yeah.
back.
Yep.
I fucking told you. Sergio would have been a really good play. Just FYI. RIP Sergio. I hope you're doing all right, buddy. Um, if you pull out your Masters Thesaurus, and under Chapter 33, you will find the Jordan Spieth Chronicles. Um, Listen, if you don't know how good Jordan Spieth is, go pick up a history book and go turn to the Masters channel and watch Jordan Spieth. Um, this is a course where he can be Jordan Spieth, harness some good vibes, make putts from everywhere. Like even when Jordan Spieth's playing bad, he's putting fucking well. Like it's unbelievable to me.
You want to know what the concern with Spieth is?
What
Cut,
that
cut,
he's
cut.
Jordan Spieth.
38-41 cut.
Not at the Masters.
No, no, no. I'm just saying recently. He has not been playing well recently.
Okay, Masters first, second, 11th, third, first, 21st. Horse for the course.
I just say be careful because he's also one of the ones like the Rom where he ends up deciding to fuck every good lineup I have when
Listen,
I have.
he admitted in a press conference and on a podcast that he's lost with his game. I think if very similar to Phil and Tiger, you know, it's like Darlington or Daytona, man, or Martinsville. You figure it out around here. You come back here, you get the visuals in your brain. You know you can do it. You know you can turn it on. He's been here all week playing with Ricky and Justin Thomas, having a good time. Um, it could be Jordan Spieth's season. And for $8,200, I'm more than willing to do it. More than willing. Um, Ricky Fowler's record here is really good too. Um, Another guy who loves the history of the game, loves Arnold Palmer, loves Jack Nicklaus, loves the heritage of Augusta National. I really hate that he hasn't won here, especially in 2018. He played so damn well. Absolutely knows how to get around this golf course. These two guys right here are still on my brain and on my radar heavily. And this whole real section here from Fitzpatrick up to Jason Day, I really love this sweet spot. And there's another sweet spot down in the sevens I really like. But all these guys, man, they all have a ton of top 20s. So from Jason Day to Justin Rose, take out Scheffler, take out Garcia. Garcia because he's not playing, in Scheffler because he's never played here before. The worst finish out of these guys from Jason Day to Matthew Fitzpatrick the past 4 years is 41st at the Masters. That's the worst finish out of these guys.
stack this area.
I really like this area a lot, and um, Scotty Scheffler kind of scares me a little bit because he's never played here before. But I tell you, when he puts up 59s and shit under tour events, man, I mean, like I've said to you a long time ago, when you shoot 59, I don't care if it's at your local cow pasture, you still putting the ball in the hole, and you know how to score, and you know how to play, and you know how to avoid the big numbers, um, which is really really huge. Louis Oosthuizen has some great highlights here at Augusta, and he's finished second 5 times in major championships. A seasoned, grizzled veteran who can definitely go out there and get her done. The past 5 years, his worst finish is 29th at Augusta for $7,900.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of Usti. I always do. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
He's
you have
consistent.
to. Paul
Yeah, he's
Casey, Paul Casey, you can go there if you want. I don't think he's got the form to go out and win a green jacket. So I'd rather have all these guys around him.
he never puts points on the board.
Yeah, no. Justin Rose and Matthew Fitzpatrick are my go-to guys with Bryson and Brooks stacks.
Hold on.
I
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Wait a second. Can you say that again? Did you say that Fitzy was your go-to guy? I thought he was
yeah,
dead.
he is fucking dead to me, but I want to win money and I want my fans and my followers to win money. Here's the deal. Fitzpatrick, I had to double check and double take and wipe my eyes because I didn't know he's played in 4 Masters because he looks like a little fucking midget elf from Santa's workshop that just escaped, and I thought he was 6 years old. Um, I can't believe that he has a top 10, a 2 top 30s, and a 38th at Augusta National. Um, hello, Justin Rose. He missed the cut last year here, but he had a really off year last year. A very unprecedented. He went through a manufacturer change. He went through a lot of changes in his game and kind of spent some more time at home with the family last year. Justin Rose is an elite golfer at $7,700. You're talking about a gold medal Olympic champion. You're talking about a 2-time U.S. Open champion at $7,700. Justin Rose made the core four this week. He made the core four very easily at $7,700, along with Louis Oosthuizen. Guys that I'm not going to worry at all about this week.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. They're going to make the cut, and they're going to be there at the end.
Matthew Fitzpatrick, he when you click Bryson and you click Brooks, like I've been doing a lot, he's right in that slot of greatness right here, and I can work my way up back to Spieth and Fowler pretty easily. Rose and Scheffler, Rose Oosthuizen, things like that. I could fit them in pretty easily. So I like it. I won't be rooting for Matthew Fitzpatrick, but I hope he finishes 20th again. That would be great. That would be great.
You have to have him. I mean, he played really well at the Memorial earlier this year. He's been playing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has shown that he deserves to have his name in the hat when you're making lineups, and especially at this price tag. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'm there with you. And actually, it's funny you say that because I was sending you those screenshots the other day, and I like this whole area. I mean, the Usti, the Rose, the Fitzpatrick. I mean, if you just click Usti, Rose, Fitzpatrick and start there, love it.
Yeah. And listen, Phil Mickelson, if you look at the numbers, it's not pretty. If you look at Augusta numbers, really pretty. He's been playing really, really, really good golf and really, really, really bad golf. So if you're clicking his name, just root for him no matter what. Even if you don't click him, just root for him because he's a good guy. One thing that made me feel really good about Phil is that He's made this drive 22 times down Magnolia Lane into the clubhouse at Augusta. He shared a few of his favorite memories of Augusta over the past 22 years, meeting Seve Ballesteros, seeing Gary Player, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, all the greats that come through this lane, and it still makes him emotional. 22 years. He's the type of guy that thrives in this environment, thrives in this golf course. Another guy that loves the heritage of this tournament, loves what it stands for, loves Augusta National, and Augusta loves him, man. Two-time Masters champion. Um, Phil's the type of guy you don't want to miss out on, because everyone and your mother and even your grandmother is going to be rooting for Phil if he's in contention on Sunday. And you're going to be like, why didn't I play Phil? I'm not too heavily on Phil, but I got some Phil. I got Phil and Tiger in one for nostalgia purposes only. Um, and
Thank you for your money.
yeah, you're welcome. Um, Sung Jae, Answer, Neiman. Neiman's out, so sorry for Neiman. Answer and Sung Jae never played here before. Um,
Scary.
I feel better about Answer than I do Im. And that is because Answer's irons have been a lot more sharp and his putter has been a lot more better over the past 6 months. When you look at Answer, he scored more Draftkings points than Sung Jae Im. He's got better strokes gained total than Sung Jae Im. The only place that Im really has him is off the tee. And I think that's because Im's longer than Answer. And hits it farther, so he gains more strokes mathematically than Answer does. But where it really counts at Augusta is putting, and Abe Answer is 16th in putting. Im's 42nd in putting. Im's 42nd in DraftKings points. Answer's 24th in DraftKings points. So for me, it's Answer over Im if you're there and you want to click a name of a guy who hasn't played the Masters before. I'm going Abraham Answer over Im. And if anyone wants to take me head to head on that, fucking bring it. That's where I'm at there. Gary Woodland, he is a major champion, but he's been a major bust this year. The beginning of the year was great. We were looking awesome. Turns out he was battling an injury no one knew about. Lost a little bit of weight. But the good news is everything I've seen about Gary Woodland is he's been there since Saturday playing golf with the boys. There's a picture of him, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, and Ricky out there playing all weekend. And there was some cool videos of him having fun and actually enjoying himself out there. I haven't seen Gary Woodland smile since the U.S. Open he won, so that was pretty good to see. He's long enough and is good enough of an iron player to get you some points this week. He also has missed the cut a lot here, okay? And the top 50 people making the cut here scares me with Woodland. If it was top 65 and ties or within 10 strokes of the lead, I might feel a little bit better. I have not gotten there with Gary Woodland the way I usually get there with Gary Woodland making it into my lineups this week. What about you? I know you're a Woodland truther.
I am a Woodland truther. I am. He's made me a few doll hairs, but that's because Cameron Smith is right below him, and I don't know how you wouldn't take Cameron Smith over him.
Yeah, and Cameron Smith at Augusta has a top 5 here. The rest of it's not that good, but he's finished top 5 here in a Masters tournament.
That's okay. Cameron Smith the last few weeks has played well, and if we're going to go with what have you done for me lately, that's the guy down here.
Yeah. Shane Lowry, he might fuck around and get you a top 20. He is a major champion. He has won a major championship before, so the pressure, he can handle it. He can do it. He just doesn't score DraftKings points.
Yeah, he doesn't.
The only way he's going to score you DraftKings points or be in a winning lineup is if he gets you a top 10. And I can think of 15 golfers without even looking at a list that'll probably beat him. The silver lining for Lowry is if it gets swirly and windy. He plays really, really good in windy conditions. Lee Westwood has been playing.
Skip over Kuchar?
Huh?
You just
Oh,
skip over.
Kuchar. I'm so sorry.
How
Kuchar.
you just skip over my cooch?
I don't know. Probably because he doesn't score many fucking DraftKings points. Um, Matt Kuchar played this course a million times. This is a precision and iron golf course. I got to walk with Matt Kuchar in a practice round here and watch him play a couple holes. Um, Seems very comfortable here. That was a few years ago when I got to go to the Masters, but he can definitely do it here. The thing about Kuchar that scares me the most is that his short game has not been good. So for him to play well this week, he's got to sharpen up the short game. But the good news is the track history here is great. 46th, 24th, 4th, 28th, and 12th last year. The course hasn't changed since last year. He's got a pretty in-depth notebook of this golf course, and I feel like if you are down in the $7,200 range after clicking a few guys up top, feel like he's one of those guys. You gotta kind of gotta click a little bit. Just be ready, because he could just be kind of meh for you. Just kind
Yeah,
of be kind of meh, you know. But he's a guy I'm not really worried about making the cut unless he puts up a big number on a golf hole and just can't rebound. Because it's
yeah, but he
hard.
doesn't do that often.
It's
He
hard
don't
to
do that.
rebound. No, he's a pretty good golf manager.
Yeah,
Um, Lee Westwood, another guy who's played 50 fucking thousand rounds of golf here. Um, he's been playing really, really, really good on the European tour. Kind of like a rebound, kind of like a midlife crisis, kind of Lee Westwood. Um, his numbers across the board are all in the 30s. And then where he's struggling is on approach. Okay, he's 50th on approach, but all his numbers are green across the board and all above 50. Um, Might be a low-owned kind of play here, um, that people are just going to overlook. I think he might get overlooked this week, Lee Westwood, and playing good golf. And he's, like I said, he's played the Masters a whole lot. He's played here a whole lot. Billy Horschel, I haven't gotten there with Billy Horschel. He's the thorn in my ass, Billy Horschel. Every time I take him, poops. Every time I don't take him, he pees. And I,
excellent.
and
DP's excellent.
yeah, and I'd rather have Kisner.
Yeah, Horschel's really hurt me this year. I can't fucking nail him. I'm gonna really hope that this isn't like the Memorial for him, because he did really well at the Memorial. So let's just hope he just doesn't
Yeah,
do so well. Let's just hope for
yeah.
that.
So you got Kuchar at 72, Kisner at 71, Todd at 71, Champ at 71. Willett is a Masters champion in the past. Some would call that a fluke. I call it the dude played his balls off for a week, because I don't think you win the Masters on a fluke. But Willett's numbers have not been good.
No.
So fade Willett. This is that little section that, just like up in the 8K, I really like. Kuchar, Kisner, Todd, Champ, Kokrak, Poulter. This little nook right here, really, really juicy.
Oh yeah.
Kokrak, 14th in DraftKings points. Poulter, 23rd in DraftKings points. Kisner, 21st in DraftKings points. Todd, 29th DraftKings points. That's just DraftKings points. Let's go to putting. Kuchar, 17th putting. Kisner, 4th, ranked 4th putter past 6 months. Brennan Todd, tied with Bryson DeChambeau as the number 1 putter over the past 6 months. Cameron Champ, not a good putter. Kokrak, 22nd putter. He pretty much won the CJ Cup on his putter. Ian Poulter, 6th putting. Kuchar, 32nd strokes gained total. Kisner, 22nd strokes gained total. Todd, 30th strokes gained total. Kokrak, 8th strokes gained total. Poulter, 44th strokes gained total. These guys are all underpriced. These guys are all underpriced. Poulter has been playing the Masters forever. Kokrak, let me see what his Masters record is. I don't see it off the top of my head. He's never played here before.
No, he is not. I looked that up.
Kisner has all top 40s here. I don't. You'd have to be really, really crazy to not like this juicy section right here. Kokrak, especially 14th DraftKings points, 8th strokes gained total, 9th off the tee, and 28th on approach. All numbers that I'm really, really, really looking at this week and I really like. And 16th tee to green, 13th ball striking. Really, really like Kokrak. And this is the same price he was when he just won in Las Vegas. So value. Okay. Yep. Leishman, I haven't seen him hit a golf ball straight since Bay Hill. Weisberger, always overrated and overowned. Van Rooyen.
He did pop though on one of those sheets you sent me. He was it last year or 2 years ago? He finished top 25 here or something like that.
Yeah, he did. But
he sucks. I'm just saying.
He's always overowned and he's always overhyped and never does anything. Timestamp this for when he's putting on the green jacket on Sunday, so I look like an idiot. All right. We are now moving into the $6,000 range. There's only a handful of guys here I trust with my money. Starting with Erik van Rooyen, 26th ranked player in official world golf rankings. And he is $6,900. I think a lot of that has to do with him never playing a Masters before. But his numbers that I'm looking at here for the past 6 months should put him in the $7,000, if not low eights, just based off the numbers and world golf ranking alone. So if you can overlook him never playing a Masters before, which is I'm having a really hard time doing, if you can overlook it, he's a good value play right here. Snedeker had a really good tournament last week. Really, really good golf tournament last week. I have no fucking clue how Carlos Ortiz pulled that win off, but that's another subject for another podcast. Matthew Wallace can literally make something out of nothing. I've watched this dude for a lot of years on the European tour because I'm a golf nerd myself. I've just watched him get up and down from trees. I watch him get up and down. I watch him hit cuts. I watch him hit fades. He's like the Iron Man. He's like the golf fucking Iron Man and just gets it done. And it seems like he's always there. He missed the cut here last year, but it was his first at Masters ever. So I'm willing to overlook that if you guys are. Zach Johnson, another Masters champion who got it done here before. Surprisingly, has been playing pretty damn well this year. He's 9th in putting, 9th on approach, 16th strokes gained total, and he cracked the top 40 in DraftKings points coming to a course where he's put on the green jacket before. Pretty interesting. My boy Siwoo Kim. I have not gotten there on Siwoo Kim yet, surprisingly, but I will say this. 24th and 21st, his last two Masters championships. To get Siwoo Kim, who arguably has one of the best swings on tour, at 6,800. He's 12th in DraftKings points and 20th in strokes gained total. 22nd on approach, and his short game's been really good. I like Siwoo Kim a lot. And he's made the core four like more than any other player this year because he's always underpriced, always undervalued, and he goes out there and he's got a golf swing that is just phenomenal.
It is.
So he's definitely him, Matt Wallace, and Zach Johnson are starred here for me because I believe that they can go out here and do it, man. I
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Hold on. Now we're on Zach Johnson. Didn't he say that he absolutely loved the Memorial Tournament, like it was his favorite tournament ever? And we
yeah
played him a bunch, and then
yeah
he went out there and shit the fucking bed. That was the right tournament, right?
yeah.
All right. I won't have any Zach Johnson.
All right. All right. Henrik Stenson scares me. Ben on scares me. And I'll tell you why. Neither of those guys have made a putt in the past 2 months. At a course where you have to make putts, you have to avoid 3 putts, and you have to make par putts at Augusta. I don't I don't see those guys being able to rebound if they get a couple strokes over par.
Did you
I just
did
don't
you
see it.
happen to skip Munoz and Molinari?
No, they're down here. They're right here. They're
Oh,
right
but you were
here.
just talking about Ben On, and he's lower than them, ain't they? Oh, they're the
Ben,
same price.
ben on 67 too. Kevin Na can literally make any putt out here with his eyes closed. He's really been good at putting, but all the other numbers scare me. I haven't gotten the Kevin Na because I've been clicking Francesco Molinari. Um, if you watched last year's Augusta Masters, he was one of those guys that felt the Tiger pressure and crumbled late. Um, he can get around this golf course. He's an absolute grinder. It is despicable how low of price he is, but that's because he hasn't really played this year. In the tournaments that he has played, it's been all right. And it's been kind of Francesco Molinari of old. Francesco Molinari is a Ryder Cup champion. He has been there, done that. I am A-OK firing off on Francesco Molinari. I'm A-OK firing off on Sebastian Munoz. And I'll tell you, Munoz, the price makes him very, very juicy. And
Absolutely.
when you look at bent grass and bent greens, Munoz plays really, really, really well. And he's a guy who can go really low, really, really quick. He's a birdie machine. And if he can go out there and prove me wrong on never playing this golf course before and make the cut and play really well, I'll be very happy because I got a few Munoz and Molinaris um, to kind of get me through there. Francesco Molinari's never finished worse than 33rd here, by the way. So there's that. Corey Connors can't make a fucking putt to save his life, so I'm not taking him at the Masters where you have to make putts. Rafa Cabrera Bello will be the death of me. Um, he has a lot of rounds here. He has a couple top 40s and a top 20. I'll have a few, but it's hard. It's really hard. But I'm not going to be there watching Brooks and Rafa Cabrera Bello in the last group on Sunday. Okay, I'm not going to do it.
And not have any of them.
Yeah, I'm not having. I can't. Our boy Lonto Griffin, $6,600. I'll say it once. I'm gonna say it again. Dude is a top 30 player on the PGA Tour. Guy made the Tour Championship. Should have won a few weeks ago. Should have won him again. Should have won, should have won, should have won, should have won. I love Lonto Griffin. I feel like Augusta sets up so perfectly for him. He's not going to win the Masters this year, but he's going to play well. His irons and his putter are what guides him to good finishes on the PGA Tour, and those are things you need at Augusta. I hope that he can keep it together and make the cut because I think the more he plays Augusta, the better he's going to do. Bezuidenhout, haven't gotten there on him. Don't like it. Charles Schwartzel, he's an old Masters champion. He's either going to finish really well and blow everyone's minds, or he's going to shoot 8 over on the first day and withdraw.
I think the second one's probably more realistic.
This little nook and cranny right here of Reeve, Fratelli, and Hadwin, all those guys are grossly underpriced. They should all be above Lonto Griffin. And Hadwin and Fratelli and Reeve have played Augusta before, which we like. And then skip over Victor Perez skip over Lucas Glover. Even though Lucas Glover is a major champion, I have not seen the Lucas Glover that started off out in March after the COVID again. I haven't seen it. And go to Charles Howell. Charles Howell is one of the last guys on this pricing that I feel really good about playing at Augusta National. He's played here just as long as Adam Scott, Ian Poulter, Lee Westwood, and all these other guys have. And I feel really good about Charles Howell. This is such like a Charles Howell kind of golf course with irons and just being consistent and hitting fairways and greens. I like Charles Howell. Max Homa and JT Poston. I really like those guys. They've never played here before, but the price is so juicy. And those guys have really.
But like, what home are you gonna get? You know, that's the problem.
I know. But if you're down here, you're grasping anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as
well. Then let's go Jimmy Walker, dude.
Well, Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy Walker got bones.
I know. And 38th, 29th, 18th, 20th, 36th at Augusta the past 5 fucking years. He's got Jim Bones McKay on the bag, which, if you've been living under a rock, was Phil Mickelson's caddy for pretty much the plethora of his career, and has won the Masters with Phil Mickelson. Okay. And
3 times.
He's $6,300. Side note, little asterisk, Justin Harding, right above Jimmy Walker, finished 12th here last year.
Yeah, I did notice that actually.
So a little side note for you. Andrew Landry played here last year, finished 46 and made the cut. This next guy that I'm going to present to you is completely up to you guys and should not be played, but has the capability to go out there and hang with all these young guns, and that's Bernhard Langer. He's probably in better shape than about half of this field. He's an absolute Iron Man. He's a Masters champion. He has been playing this golf tournament for 30 years and can still hit hybrid like 220, 225, which is just enough. And he can hit his driver 250, 260, dead down the middle every time. He's going to make the cut. I'm putting my name on it. It's a guarantee that Bernhard Langer will make this cut this week and allow you to stack the top and ball out up top. Okay, I'm putting my name on it. Bernhard Langer makes the cut this week. Everyone underneath him has great golf swings, but I can't do it. Mike Weir, he might do something, but I don't see him making the cut. Larry Mize, I told Larry Mize in 2012 when I went to the Masters, I walked up to Larry Mize after the 18th hole. I walk up to him, I shake his hand, I go, Larry Mize, you have the best goddamn golf swing in the whole realm of what I've seen golf swings, and people should envy you for your golf swing. You're talking about a guy who's like 80 years old and out there playing the Masters still. Guess who's not going to be doing that? John Rahm, Neiman, Nate Lashley,
Wolf,
fucking Matthew Wolf. Those guys aren't going to do it. You know, I don't know why, because they're too fucking crazy with their golf swings. They're going to play really good for 10, 15 years if they're lucky, but then they're dead because they're going to have to completely rework their game. You want to know why Phil Mickelson's still so good? Because his swing's long and smooth and pure. Like, it's like crazy to me. Like, why? Like, Rahm is so rapid at the golf ball. It's like fucking makes me want to fucking cry. Joaquin Neiman looks like he just got off a roller coaster when he gets done with a golf swing. Like, it's just crazy.
And Wolf looks like he's breaking his knee every time he hits the ball.
Yeah. So, I really hope this helps you guys with your Masters. There is a ton of stuff on We Live Fantasy that I've been working on. And I will give you the top 10 lists of the stats that I've been looking at. That'll come either tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to be maxing out the 50 cent lobby this week. I'm going to go for that takedown. in the 50-cent lobby, and I'm feeling really good about it. So I hope you guys do too. The core four, a lot of the guys that we highlighted are all in the write up over there. I even put up a ROM article because I don't want you guys to feel like I led you astray and not picking John Rahm. Um, but it also explains why I'm not picking John Rahm. Um, and I hope this really helps you, man. I'm really feeling good about the core four. I'm really feeling good about our plays up top. I'm really feeling good about the guys in the 8K and 7K range, which we've stumbled upon the past few weeks, and the winners have come out of those ranges.
Yep.
So I'm
Yep.
really feeling good about it. It's one of my favorite weeks of the year besides the Daytona 500. So I will be on my phone. I will be on Twitter. I will be all over it. So if you guys have any questions, please reach out. It's not a big deal. Tyler and I had so much fun this past weekend with the Phoenix race. We had more feedback and more comments and more people reaching out to us than we've ever had before. Um, and sharing winnings and sharing a bunch of cool stuff. And it's really cool. We had a guy turn $1 into $80 this past weekend. We had people, sharing pictures of their double ups and things like that. I had people on Twitter reaching out to us. So it's really cool that We Live Fantasy and WLF is kicking ass out there. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I know we've said it a couple times, still too early to talk about it. We've got some really cool stuff coming for NASCAR. We're really gonna hit 2021 hard and try to take over this industry. So you guys keep liking, keep commenting, because we recognize it, and it makes us very happy to see the testimony and see your guys' feedback on everything, and it helps us give us that extra motivation to do good for you guys too. Um, it's not just Tyler and I talking on the phone for 5 hours a day about DFS sports. So and just yelling at.
Right. We're bringing you with us.
Yeah, we're going to it, man, and we hope you guys stick along with us. So if you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter, We Live Fantasy or Chapstick. Hit up Tyler on Facebook. Hit up Lacey on Instagram. Hit us up, and if you reach out, if you don't have one of the other ones, just send the message. It'll get to us. I get messages on Facebook that I kick over to Tyler. Tyler gets them over there, kicks them over to me, and check out the website. We're gonna have a bunch of stuff for you, and plus we have Thursday night football this week.
That's right.
Pretty juicy. Colts versus who is it?
Tennessee Titans.
Colts versus Titans. So get your Derrick Henry captains and get going. So, um,
Good luck.
so good luck. Reach out. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so we still have plenty of time to build lineups and plenty of time for questions. If you have any questions about the charts or tables, I'm going to try to post as much of this as I can. So keep an eye out, keep looking, and there's already a bunch of information on there. Check out masters.com. They have the full almanac, the full thesaurus of master stats that you could need. I posted a lot of the key ones onto welivfantasy.com. And then I made my highlights with the guys that are still active and guys that we're going to be targeting this week. So good luck, guys. welivfantasy.com. Hit us up. Good luck. Peace out.
See ya.